Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so if you've scrolled through any social media feed lately, you've definitely bumped into the 369 manifestation method. People are swearing up and down that writing their goals 3 times in the morning, 6 in the afternoon, and 9 at night is basically a cheat code for life. But where did this actually come from? Well, the internet points the finger at the legendary inventor Nikola Tesla, claiming he unlocked some hidden code to the universe. So today we're going to unpack the whole shebang, the real math, the historical myth, and the hard neuroscience behind this genuinely fascinating trend.
It all traces back to this legendary quote attributed to the man himself. If you only knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe. Just hearing that, it's incredibly powerful, right? If you picture a dark, moody cinematic scene of a genius isolated in his Victorian lab, it instantly builds this incredible intrigue. Was one of history's greatest minds literally leaving us a breadcrumb trail to the secrets of reality?
Well, let's look at our roadmap for this explainer and find out. We're going to hit Section 1, the 369 manifestation trend. 2, vortex mathematics. 3, the base 10 illusion. 4, metallic ratios math. And 5, we'll wrap up with the neuroscience of 369. Let's get into it.
All right, diving right in with Section 1, the 369 manifestation trend. What is it? How are people actually using these numbers in their day-to-day lives?
At its core, this method is fundamentally just a super-structured journaling practice. You pick a single, highly specific intention in the present tense, something like, I am steadily building work I'm proud of. Then you write it 3 times in the morning, 6 times at midday, and 9 times at night. And that really highlights the crux of the whole thing. Exact repetition for a set period, usually 21 to 45 days. You don't change the wording. You just write this short, repeated statement 3 times a day, every single day.
So how exactly did a modern daily journaling habit get linked to a pioneer of electricity? That brings us to Section 2, vortex mathematics and Tesla's influence.
Okay, before we get into the wild, esoteric theories, we really need to ground Tesla in reality. Think of a gritty, industrial, documentary look at the late 1800s. Tesla was a legitimate, highly technical engineer who completely revolutionized our alternating current supply systems. He filed actual patents, like his 1896 patent for producing high-frequency currents. His work was strictly rooted in hard, mathematical, and physical laws. But later thinkers, who were super inspired by his known obsession with certain numbers, took his ideas and developed a concept known as vortex mathematics.
Now, vortex mathematics leans really heavily on something called digital roots. Let's walk through this doubling sequence. It's kind of like a math puzzle. If you start with 1 and keep doubling it, you get 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and so on, right? To find the digital root, you literally just add the digits together until you get a single number. So 16 becomes 1 plus 6, which is 7. 32 becomes 3 plus 2, which is 5. If you keep doing this, it creates this perfect repeating loop of 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5, over and over again, out to infinity.
But here is the absolutely crucial question. Where are 3, 6, and 9? They are completely missing from this infinite loop. According to Marco Rodin's version of vortex math, the numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5 represent the physical, kinetic world we actually live in. But 3, 6, and 9? They represent something else entirely. A higher dimensional flux field, or this sort of emanating realm that secretly governs the rest of the numbers.
And within that specific trio, the number 9 is considered the ultimate boss, the controller. Why? Well, if you double 9 to 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. Double it again to 36, 3 plus 6 is 9. No matter what, in this system, 9 always returns to itself. It appears to control the entire pattern from the shadows without ever actually changing. It's an absolutely mesmerizing mathematical trick.
But is it actually a universal law? Let's shift gears to Section 3, the base 10 illusion, a human construct.
This is where things get super interesting. All of these magical properties, they are entirely dependent on our human-invented decimal system. We use base 10, meaning we count with 10 digits, 0 through 9. Take the number 1024. In base 10, its digital root is 7. But imagine if we lived in a universe where we naturally counted in base 9. That exact same quantity is written as 1357, and its digital root becomes 8. Or what if we counted in base 8? It's written as 2000, and the digital root is just 2.
And that completely exposes the catch here. If you map out that same doubling sequence in base 8, the loop is literally just 1, 2, 4. Done. In base 9, there is no repeated pattern at all.
The so-called magnificence and separation of 3, 6, and 9 pretty much vanishes into thin air the moment you stop using a base 10 numbering system. So the numbers aren't some magical, epic key to the universe's physics, they are actually just a quirky byproduct of how humans decided to count.
However, we shouldn't write them off completely. These digits aren't totally devoid of mathematical meaning. Let's look at Section 4, Metallic Ratios Math, Real Patterns.
When we dive into the advanced math, while the universe might not be strictly governed by 3, 6, and 9, these numbers actually do have some beautiful idiosyncrasies. In specific mathematical sequences, like the famous Fibonacci sequence or Lucas sequences, the digital roots of every fourth term remarkably still reduce to 3, 6, or 9. There are these incredibly intricate patterns within what mathematicians call metallic means, like the silver ratio or the bronze ratio, where 3, 6, and 9 consistently pop up as digital roots. So it highlights a very real, structurally fascinating mathematical pattern, even if it's not a literal magic spell.
Okay, so if the numbers aren't magic spells, why on earth do so many people swear that the 369 manifestation method actually works for them? This brings us to our final stop, Section 5, the neuroscience of 369, how it works.
To really understand this, we have to look inside the human brain, specifically a little bundle of nerves in your brainstem called the Reticular Activating System, or RAS. Picture a fun, Pixar-style 3D animation inside your head where the RAS is basically a tiny bouncer at the door of your mind. You are bombarded with millions of bits of sensory data every single second. The RAS filters out all that noise and only lets in the information that your subconscious decides is actually important. Have you ever brought a new blue car and suddenly you see that exact blue car everywhere you go? Yeah, that's your RAS working in real time.
When you practice the 369 method, you are quite literally hacking this biological system. By writing out a goal 18 times a day for 21 days, you are forcibly reprogramming your subconscious. Your RAS starts filtering your day-to-day reality to match that exact goal, surfacing real-world opportunities you would have completely missed before. Plus, the physical act of writing by hand, especially right before you go to sleep, heavily activates your brain's limbic system, encoding these goals into your memory up to 3 times faster than if you just type them on your phone. It's that fixed daily rhythm that keeps the intention front and center.
So let's stack the myth up against the grounded reality. The myth tries to tell us that the numbers 3, 6, and 9 possess this magical frequency, magnetically pulling external outcomes towards you without you having to lift a finger. But the grounded, scientific reality, it's far more practical, and honestly, I think it's just as amazing. It's a powerful focus habit. That consistent rhythm of writing 3 times in the morning, 6 in the afternoon, and 9 at night serves as an anchor. It forces you to keep one single intention completely salient across your entire day, which ultimately shifts your attention and radically improves your follow-through on those small, actionable steps.
Which leaves us with this final, genuinely wild thought to ponder. Is the universe built on the inherent mystical magic of the digits 3, 6, and 9? Or is the true key to the universe simply the human mind's incredible ability to focus its attention and literally shape its own reality? You know, the numbers might just be the scaffolding, but the real power? That's entirely in your head. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.